Greetings, good people. Greetings. Girl, Ramona girl, you in danger, honey. Okay. Former Real Housewives star Ramona Singer, right? She's being accused of using the N-word on set. I don't know if you guys got the opportunity to read the Vanity Fair expose that hit the scenes Monday earlier this week. I suggest you check it out. Everybody is reporting on situations that took place behind the scenes, all right? You guys know that Bethany Frankel, she's launching this like campaign to get justice for these housewives as it pertains to fair pay and kind of exposing some of the toxic culture behind the Housewives franchise, right? I mean, this is nothing that Nene Leakes didn't already tell us, but I guess it depends on who delivers the information that causes people to pay attention. Well, anyway, Ramona Singer, she's up next for scrutiny, okay, and rightfully so. So this article is courtesy of Rolling Stone, and they have excerpts from the original Vanity Fair article, which I did read. It is a long read, but it's definitely worth it. And I just want to point out also before I get into this article, Nene Leakes' name. I mentioned this in a previous video. Make sure you check that out. Bethany Frankel and Ebony K. Williams. Check that out on the channel. Nene Leakes' name was not mentioned in the Vanity Fair expose at all. She wasn't even like indirectly mentioned. Very interesting. And now Bethany Frankel has become the face of getting justice for all of the housewives. Interesting. Anywho, according to Rolling Stone, former Real Housewives of New York star Ramona Singer was accused of using the N word and other instances of racism in a new report about the Smash Bravo franchise in Vanity Fair. Singer was already infamously the subject of an internal investigation at Bravo after Real Housewives of New York's first black cast member, Ebony K. Williams, accused her of racism in a complaint filed back in 2021 following the end of the show's 13th season. All right. Every time they refer to Ebony K. Williams, like you could just say Ebony K. Williams, first black housewife. I get it, whatever, whatever. At the time, Bravo said that the investigation was closed after nothing substantial was found. At the time, the specifics of the complaint were not known, but according to the new Vanity Fair story, Singer used the N word in conversation with a black crew member during production on season 13 in 2020 and 2021. Former Housewives of New York producer Darian Edmondson, a black woman, said that Singer used the slur after Singer filmed a conversation with Williams in which Singer reportedly said that she did not want to talk about race before asking Ebony the ethnicity of her new boyfriend. Now, I have never watched Housewives of New York. That's the only franchise that I have not even seen one episode of. I was excited when I heard that Ebony was going to be joining the cast, but then I got concerned because I know what them girls give over there. But Ebony, she handled herself. She can handle her own. Anyway, continuing on, according to Edmondson, after the cameras were turned off, Ramona told her the conversation reminded her of when Jewish colleagues called her that word right there, which is a Yiddish word for a non-Jewish woman. Now, I'm not saying some of these words because I'm not trying to tip off these people in the YouTubes, okay? Edmondson, she was one of the black female producers that was hired conveniently when Ebony K. Williams was hired. Like I said, if you read the Vanity Fair article, it goes into detail. Anyway, Edmondson reportedly told Singer, Ramona, I have no idea what you're talking about. Singer allegedly responded, oh, it's literally like calling someone, like somebody calling you a N-word with the hard ER, y'all. The hard ER. Singer denied using the slur, calling Edmondson's recollection of the conversation a, quote, misinterpretation, and adding, I did describe an incident where I was called that Jewish word or that Yiddish word while working in college, but I did not compare the two experiences. Williams, Ebony, however, argued that the results of the investigation into Singer's use of the N-word came down to semantics. She said that during a call with NBC Universal executives, and an outside lawyer about the incident, someone on the call acknowledged that Ramona had used the slur, but didn't specifically call Edmondson the N-word. Ebony's last name is Williams, so who did this typo? Williams, Ebony, credited NBC Universal's chief diversity officer, who is biracial, of responding, quote, no, what we're not going to do is sit here and litigate the capacity in which the N-word was used in the presence of a black woman. So basically, there was a chief diversity officer that was on the line that worked for NBC Universal, happened to be biracial, and pretty much sided with Ebony's complaint and concern. So, we're not going to play these games of semantics, basically, just because Ramona Singer didn't allegedly say this toward this producer, Miss Edmondson, Mrs., doesn't mean that her use of the word is acceptable in a nutshell. Okay. Ebony added, that was the only time I felt like anybody on the other side of this had had any competency. What I recognize, even in the midst of my own trauma, is I still had the most power of any black person involved in this thing. These are just young black women trying to go to effing work. The story included several other racially insensitive remarks the singer allegedly made. Once, she allegedly told a black woman staffer, quote, there's so many of you guys here now. Please don't change your hair. And please don't change your hair, as I'm not going to be able to remember anybody's name. Yikes. Just obtuse, just totally obtuse. Singer said that this was strictly a commentary on my inability to remember names. If you want to remember someone's name, you will. Okay? That excuse of, I just can't remember names is because you're not interested in remembering someone's name. It's facts. Another time, during a racial sensitivity meeting before filming had begun, which Ebony describes as a cover your ass move, the cast members were reportedly told to avoid race. Imagine you have to tell your cast of white women to avoid racist stereotypes like those about black fathers not being present. Singer allegedly said, what if they don't have a father? Why can't I say that? Most of them don't. Air her out. Okay. Singer claimed that she was just asking a question about a statistic I had read about single parent households where children with single parent households were statistically, I love how people throw the word statistics around and don't even know the first thing about experimental statistics and how to read statistics. Anyway, so she were statistically less likely to succeed than two-parent households. So this is what Ramona Singer is saying. She basically read something somewhere where a study was done. Probably don't even know. Child. Anyway, I'm not even going to go down that lane. Listen, a lot of people, when you read these statistics, trust me, a lot of it is falsified BS. Because a true experiment, they're not going to break all of that down to you. You know what I mean? They just throw words like statistic, experiment. Well, who's your sample group? Huh? What's your population consist of? Let me run them numbers. Anywho, it's a stereotype, bottom line. And they mask it as statistics. Anywho, another incident occurred after filming ended on a conversation between Ebony and Luann. The scene, which did air on the show, found that Ebony accusing Luann of displaying white fragility and then explaining the term. Let me tell you, I like Ebony's elitist attitude, okay? Because she knows that she's educated. I love it. I do. I like it. I'm familiar with her outside of Housewives of New York. While that part aired, a person present, alleged that after Luann left, Singer slammed her hands on the table and said, this is why we don't need black people on the show. This is going to ruin our show. Now, of course, Ramona said that this absolutely did not happen and claimed that she supported adding diverse cast members well before Ebony was added. Sure you did, girl. In a statement shared with Rolling Stone, Singer reiterated her denial, saying, I stopped filming Real Housewives of New York in February 2021. These accusations were all aired publicly in September 2021. These claims were investigated by the network back then, and they found no basis for the claims. I stand by all my comments in the article. I am extraordinarily disappointed that Vanity Fair and Page 6 felt the need to re-amplify this non-story. Ma'am, we're bringing it up because you said it, and we ain't never gonna let you live that down, because you need to understand one thing. It's unacceptable. It doesn't matter in what shape, form, fashion you use it, whether you have an A or a hard ER, and that goes for everybody. That is my opinion. Black, non-black, yellow, pink, Homer Simpson, Marge Simpson, Bart, Lisa. Personally, I don't feel the need to use the word. And I'm not, listen, I understand how some black people feel about the word. Jay-Z feels that you take the power out of the word. Remember when he interviewed with Oprah, Oprah was not falling for it. It is what it is. But what you need to understand, Miss Singer, is that it's inappropriate. And I don't like the fact that some women like her, they always try to find an excuse to be obtuse and ignorant. Here's what I want to say. I'm so glad I got through that article. Here's what I want to say. She made a comment about statistics. Girl, bye. If you took an experimental statistics class like I did twice in college, you wouldn't know whether you were coming or going. I guarantee it. I could tell. Anywho, she made a statement about black fathers not being in the house, and black people traditionally come from single parent homes. Here's what I want to know. I want to know how black men feel about her statements and her quote unquote statistics. That's what I want to know. I'm not going to say black women sit this one out, but I would be interested to see how black men address this statement that she made, right? Because I'm going to tell you something. From what I have witnessed, okay, it's safe to say, from what I have witnessed, I have seen many black women say the same thing that she said. And when I tell you these M&Ms, these males with microphones, are so quick to chew black women out and blame black women for the fact, for them being single mothers, the man left because you were nagging, like ignorant stuff. I want to know if black men are going to check this woman with statistics, real statistics. I want to know if they're going to call her ignorance out. I want to know if they are going to hold her accountable. Black men, that is. Not women, not black women, because we already know black women will eat them up, chew them up. Ebony K. Williams already ate her up. But I'm curious, when white women say things like this about black men, you notice that most black men are quiet. The ones that are always loud about everything else, they're very quiet. But let Ramona Singer have been a black woman, all of these mics would have been on fire. All these podcasts, nodcasts, hodcasts would have been on fire, chewing a black woman up for saying this. I've seen that happen. Either way, girl, you dead wrong. And I'm glad that everyone is chewing you up because you deserve it. And I don't like when people do things and they think that they're immune to consequences. It doesn't matter how long ago it was, because you saying that, oh, that was so long ago, and they're trying to re-amplify this story is very similar and in the same neighborhood as quote unquote, that was so long ago, just get over it. And nope, I'm not having it. So proceed to chew her up as you will, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Thanks for listening. And until next time, talk to you later.